Now, VAR, Didi, I know you were against it from the start. I'm not sure where you are at the moment. There were two instances this week. Danny Rose, the penalty that Aguero missed, as it happens. There was a lot of debate and dispute about that. It took a while. In the end, I thought the right decision was made. I thought it was a penalty, although initially I had my doubts. The second instance it was used was in the Barcelona-Manchester United match, where it was claimed the linesman or the assistant referee put his flag up to call Suarez offside for what turned out to be the winning goal. They went to VAR, and VAR proved that in fact Suarez was onside. Very important decisions, both of them really, in the context of those games. Where are you now on VAR, Didi?
The same as before. I think it needs a lot of fine tuning. Yes, it would have been a travesty if the Barcelona goal hadn't stood. But if a player is a yard onside and the linesman raises a flag, then the question should be asked: why is the linesman doing the line in the quarterfinal of a Champions League? I think it was the most ridiculous offside given I've seen in a long time. I don't know what he saw. I don't know what he thought he saw. That was never offside, and obviously it would have been a travesty if we didn't have VAR. If that goal wouldn't have been given, the Spurs or the City penalty, I'm tending towards I probably wouldn't have given it. I see a reason why he did give it. I think it's a penalty you can give. And then there was another incident at Liverpool where Alexander-Arnold handled the ball when Alisson Becker palmed the ball onto his arm, which was reviewed and which wasn't given. I think the referees or the video assistant referees half the time don't even know themselves what is a handball and what not, because I think I wouldn't have given either penalty, whether for City nor for Porto. And I believe that if the incident with Alexander-Arnold happened in the City game, I think a penalty would have been given. So it's no black and white. A handball is never black and white because there's no deliberate handball. Sometimes you just, if you spread your arms, you make yourself bigger. It might be deemed a deliberate handball, but at the moment there's no clear rule. And I can understand or I can accept if a referee makes a mistake. But then if it goes to VAR and there's a few people and look at it a few times and they come up with the wrong decision. I don't think there was a wrong decision in the weekend, midweek in these games. Then it's hard to take. So I think it needs a lot of fine-tuning. We've had it now for in the second season in Germany. The discussion got more rather than less, and you will find that out when it comes to the Premier League. There'll be carnage next season, I can tell you.
Okay, it's interesting that, Didi. John, you believe in it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, Didi's talking about, of course, even the guys upstairs will have a disagreement on it. But they're looking at it.
But they make mistakes too. I agree with you, and I'm a believer in VAR. But I think they have to refine. But it also resonates with me that they've had it in the Bundesliga for 2 seasons now, and as Didi is saying, it hasn't worked because the guys upstairs are making differing interpretations. For example, in the handball situation, it's whether you make your body bigger. Now, I'm not sure that's the right metric to use, because you make your body bigger in all kinds of ways.
Yeah, but that's
some of them unintentional.
That's always been the way, Eamon. Right. But if you like Didi, I'm disagreeing with Didi.
Yeah, and I disagree with him. But I hear him. He's saying something.
I know.
He's seen it in practice.
Can I say what I want to say?
You can.
Because you asked me a question, then you tell. Anyway, in Didi's case the other night, we're talking about one particular case, the Manchester United one. And Didi's saying, how can the linesman make such a bad decision?
Yeah.
Right? That's what VAR is for.
Yeah.
They're human. They will make decisions.
Yes.
Right? And if we didn't have VAR the other night, the Manchester United goal wouldn't have been allowed.
The Barcelona goal.
The Barcelona goal. That was wrong. So the VAR on that day, of course, they're going to. It's in its infancy as well. I know Didi's saying it's 2 years in, and there will be disagreements on VAR, but there'll be more rights than wrongs without the VAR. Right? It's not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect, but it's something that you can look at where there's definite things can happen, like the goal the other night against Manchester for Barcelona. Right? The linesman put his flag up, Eamon. Without VAR, that would have been disallowed.
Yep.
So even on that incident alone, of course there's going to be doubts over the penalty where the fella's using his hand. I thought that in Paris Saint-Germain, it was a dreadful decision in Manchester United's way.
Yeah.
Right? But I didn't even notice him handling the ball in that match.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It went to VAR. And that's an opinion. And of course, we'll have different opinions on whether it was a handball or it wasn't. But at least they're looking at it.
Right.
They'll definitely have a better decision to make than the referee who's only seen it for the first time, or the linesman for the first time. So I'm very much in favour of it, and I think it's in its infancy in many ways, and it will get better and better as it goes on.
Right. Well, just to say, I agree with you, except Didi's telling us that in its infancy thing in Germany, the longer it's gone on, it hasn't necessarily improved. That's what you're telling us, isn't it, Didi? And isn't that the point you're making, that it isn't? It's the guys upstairs and their interpretations. That's why it's not working.
No, exactly. And there's most decisions in a game are just not black and white. You know, I think there's there's probably 90% of the decisions which can be given either way. And some of the things, the handballs, you can give them, you don't have to give them. And one has to make the call. And there's a lot of confusion. There's different interpretation of the rules, and the confusion has become more rather than less. And
right.
I don't know whether we need, I think we got 97.5% right decisions. Whether we need, now they say we've got 99. I don't think it's important, but they've got another 1%. You've got to get the importance right. And I think, or what I realized is that after every game, people don't celebrate no more. They wait for the referee to give a sign, whether it's a goal or whether it's not a goal.
Right.
We lose a lot of emotions. We lose a lot what makes football. And if after 18 or 20 months watching it now in the Bundesliga, I think what we've lost is in no comparison to what we've gained. I think we gained very little and we lost a lot. And, I think it will change football if it comes in. Well, it looks like it's going to come in. It'll never be perfect. I think it's used too often. It should only be used when it's 100% a wrong call, as it was with the offside.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it should have been used with a handball for Danny Rose. I don't think this is a clear mistake by the referee.
Right. Yeah.
And it stops the game. Football is a free-flowing game. Why is football watched all over the world? Because it's a free-flowing game. And why do people love the Premier League? Because the ball is in play more than in any other league. It's going up and down. Now with a VAR, you've got stop after stop. You've got stoppage after stoppage after stoppage. It disrupts the rhythm of the game. It has changed the game. And it hasn't changed the game for the better. And I'm still very cautious and very negative when it comes to VAR. Does it make it? We brought it in the first place to make it to get the right result, to make it more fair. What I've seen now in the last 20 months, there have been a lot of incidents where I think it created the opposite. I don't think it makes the game more fair, even though you may get more right decisions, but that doesn't mean you get a fair result. So I'm still very opposed to the whole thing.
Yeah, I must say I'm for it, but I'm listening very carefully to what you say, and it's very interesting. John, just one point I'd make to you. I can see you shaking your head vigorously. One of the things that's happened, and I noticed it in the Champions League games this week, the players are now urging the referee to go to VAR. So the players are at it as well in a certain way. And I do hear what Didi's saying, that it, whilst in theory it's good and to get things right, in practice, the idea of VAR was that you'd only call on it when there was a clear and obvious mistake by the referee or an assistant. Now they're calling on it, and I think this is what Didi's saying, not only when there's a clear and obvious error, a big boob, they're calling on it when it's 50-50 kind of thing, like the Danny Rose thing. And that isn't actually what it initially should be. It should only be when there's everyone in the ground because, hey, he's made a big mistake. Let's go to VAR.
We don't see it. No, well, first of all, I totally disagree with Didi. And I do agree with him on most things on football. He, even from the other night, Didi's saying the linesman shouldn't have made that mistake.
Yeah.
Right? Well, the linesman did make the mistake. And was it proven right? It was proven right.
Yeah.
Okay. If there wasn't VAR the other night, we wouldn't have got that. And there wasn't that long a delay. I think that will improve. Was the World Cup better for VAR?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so as well. Right, that's the World Cup. There's decisions made, Eamon, which we don't see. I didn't know it wasn't offside the other night.
Yeah.
With the thing, did you?
No.
Well, I saw him put the flag up and I thought, what's...
Yeah.
Right, without VAR, we wouldn't have got that. And what I've seen of it, there is more of that than the mistakes.
Okay.
And I think the delays are worth it, to be honest, overall. Because you got the fans, Lizzie's talking about the fans, it's all about fans. If a fan in a match, Manchester United the other night, sees that later on and it's proven to, they say, that was great.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the opposite when it happens. If the home team, they don't care whether it's right or wrong, as long as it's in their favour.
Okay.
Right? So you get people going away from the match saying, that was never, if you don't have the VAR, it has to be a help, Eamon. And it's still in its infancy. Okay, I don't see the matches in Germany, but I've seen the match where I've seen VAR, right? And I would be 100% for. I know I'd respect Easy's decision if he's against. So we have a difference on that.
Okay, well, I was for it, but I hear you, Didi, and I'm more persuaded by what you're saying and the nuances of it than John is. But whatever, I'm grateful to both of you for joining me today.